Hey everybody, it's Kathy here and welcome to the Whole Kit Caboodle with layout number 4. So I am playing along with Ginger at Ginger's Corner and I am using a Echoes of the Outback kit to do this process, and today I'm going to use this one. I've got some hessian in there, I've got the cardstock and I've got the wood veneer, and that's how I'm going to pull this layout together. Now, when I was working on this layout, I can honestly say I wasn't 100% impressed with my design or my details, but in the end, looking back at it now, after I've sat for a while, I'm not too displeased with it. I think it's actually turned out okay. So what I did with the wood veneer was I cut out a frame that is slightly larger than the photo on one side and extended it to create like a panel. So this will be like a grid type of effect on the layout, and that's going to cover that area where I cut out that piece with the notepad in it. I'm using that notepad down in the corner as well as a decorative part of the layout, and you'll see that the grid will actually slide into and under the flowers of it. So it will be a layered, like papered layer behind this framing for my photo. And I like how that's going to sit on that page already, and that's going to already layer it up without too much effort, and it's just using what was already in the papers. And I do like the hint of the sun ray behind on this background paper here, and you can just see it showing through, and that's just a great reflection of that sun up in that top right hand corner of my photo. Now this photo is of my mum and myself at the Australian Pioneer Village. We were standing outside Rose Cottage, and my daughter took this photo, and I just thought this was perfect for this framing type of idea. Now I put in this black piece here, and I do put in a tab on there, but in the end it gets covered up, so I probably should have put it up higher, but that's all right. I know it's there, it's in behind, it's an anchoring point for the embellishments, so I suppose that's okay. So using the, it's a butter colour really, for the frame that you can see here, now that I've turned it over, and I'm just sticking down the bits that are a little bit too sticky and tacky so that they don't stick on things in my album. I use that to set up the rest of the grid on that frame that I have around the photo. Now here's where I talked about putting the tab in, and it does get covered up by the embellishments, but that's okay. It's down there in the bottom corner, and that adds as an anchoring point. With my die cut machine, I also cut out these brick wall type pieces, and I'm going to use those in the framing of my embellishments. Now I originally was going to go with some wood frame in that top panel, but I've decided that I'm just going to use the hessian in both parts. And I just like the feel and the texture and the look that it gives to this layout, that rustic feel. So it actually looks better in that respect for what I wanted to achieve. So I'm just putting that down into the rest of that grid. So that's how that photo area is being built. Then using the die cuts, I'm going to build up, like I said, anchor points for my embellishment clusters. And I'm tucking in another set of bricks down here at the bottom, and that's where my 3 points are going to be on this layout for the florals. Now I did do a whole sheet of fussy cutting of florals when I first put this kit together, so I'm going to draw on those florals to continue on this layout to build my embellishment clusters here. And I'm liking how this has come together. It's got that rustic feel so far. Then I go through a period where I'm not so fussed on it. Now these circle pieces were on the back of the wood veneer, and I cut them out, and the tree was another fussy cut element from the kit that I had pre-cut earlier, and I thought fit beautifully in this layout. And then I didn't think it did, and now I do. I'm not too sure. What do you think? When you see the end product, let me know whether you think the tree was a good idea or not a good idea. I do have the hint of a tree behind that house in the photo, so it is sort of just covering that section up. Alright, now I do have this wooden round frame here that I fussy cut from the element, and I'm putting the little wombat's face over the top, and I do have the cockatoo that's tucking in behind the tree there on that top panel as well. So I'm liking how bringing the Australiana into this layout and putting the bush feel into it. So I'm just going through those florals. Like I said, I'd pre-cut in preparation for this kit, and I'm just going to build up the floral clusters as I manipulate these extra cutouts around. And I don't want all that brickwork to be covered up. I want it to still be visible so that you can get that whole idea across that whole layout. So in the end, it's a matter of playing with the bits and pieces until I've come up with a feel that I like. And I went off screen and I stuck down all those pieces. And now I'm just going with the black gum nuts that I die cut and extending those to create longer embellishment clusters. So I have the title. Once again, that too was from a cutout in the kit that I pre-cut earlier, and I'm now drawing on for my title. And this one says snapshots documented. Oh dear, can't even speak. So I'm trimming off the excess of these florals, and that's allowing that neat border to go into place. So I'm still not 100% happy with that tree. You will see in the final close-ups that I do add a little bit more around the tree to try and make it sit nicer. I'm adding in some faux stitching for a border around here to just lift that off the frame. I do have that buttercolour cardstock as the external frame, and then I have the paper with the sunray on it for my base, and I just wanted to lift it up off that frame and give it a little bit of depth and dimension. And the faux stitching allows for that detail to be created and expanded upon on the layout. So I'm just adding in this final bit here, and you can see already that it's making a difference by making the layout stand out and also drawing in the blacks that are in the embellishments. Then I have got some gunmetal grey Nuvo drops, and I'm just putting those into the 3 cluster points to set up that visual triangle, and that allows for the eye to roam around the photo. And then I'm going to add some vintage photo spritz as some splatters in the background. Not too much, but just enough to add a little something to the overall appeal of this layout. And I do love this vintage photo spritz. It really does make a perfect addition to most backgrounds, particularly in this range with my Whole Kit Caboodle. It fits nicely. And I'm really sorry for all the background noise today. The cars are on the move, and Jack, my cockatoo in the background, he's coughing because he wants my attention, but he'll make noises and you'll hear him every now and then. So as you can see, I'm just adding a few more splatters in just to make sure that they're noticeable enough, because they do fade. They do have a bit of a shimmer, and I like how this has all come together. As I said, I wasn't too fussed with the tree. I do go and add some more off screen, and you'll see that in the close-ups. Let me know down in the comments down below if you think that you know, the tree should not have been there. What's your opinion? I'm not 100% on this layout. Sometimes you get layouts like that. You can see there where I've clustered in around that tree. Let me know. What do you think? There's a full playlist down below of all the players who are playing along with the Whole Kit Caboodle with Ginger over at Ginger's Corner. Go and see what everybody else is doing. Happy scrapping, everybody. Thanks for staying through to the end. And here's my next video for you. I'll see you over there real soon.